This is a continuation on yesterday's video on family worship. Often, brethren, it is an interesting and rewarding pursuit to study the origin of terms that are used all around us, like the term family worship, which is, by its very direction, a little deceitful. First of all, I assume we're speaking of a family with children. The children may not have professed to be believers. So to encourage them to pray, to sing hymns, and quote unquote to worship God is tantamount to blasphemy. They cannot do that. They're incapable of worshiping God. They're incapable of praying to God, because a requirement for both of those things is the new birth. And if they don't have it, all that the parents are encouraging at that moment is a form of legalism, which will be a problem later on. The best definition of family worship was posted by J.W. Alexander in the 19th century. He defined it as the joint worship rendered to God by all members of one household. Now that is not correct unless the members of the household have the new birth and have professed to have faith in Christ. Here are the famous individuals who espoused the phrase family worship. The first one is Richard Baxter, from 1615 to 1691. In his Christian Directory, Baxter provided extensive guidance on family worship, urging fathers to lead their husbands or households in daily devotions. He believed that regular family worship was essential for nurturing faith and promoting godliness within the home. Next was Thomas Manton, from 1620 to 1677. Manton, in his epistle to the reader of the Westminster Confession of Faith, emphasized the family's role as a, quote, little church, unquote. He advocated for the practice of family worship, considering it a fundamental duty of household leaders to instruct and guide their families in spiritual matters. And the third most prominent figure on that subject was John Owen, from 1616 to 1683. A leading Puritan theologian, he discussed the significance of worship in various contexts. While he is renowned for his works on public worship, his principles also underscored the importance of family worship as a means of glorifying God within the household. Another individual who espoused this approach was Lewis Bailey, 1575 to 1631, in his influential work, The Practice of Piety. Bailey portrayed the head of a household as a spiritual leader, akin to a minister within the home. He emphasized the importance of family worship in guiding the household toward piety and devotion. Another was William Perkins, from 1558 to 1602. Perkins also described a family as a, quote, little church, unquote, highlighting the household's role in spiritual instruction and worship. He believed that family worship was integral to the spiritual health and growth of both the family unit and the broader church community. These Puritan leaders collectively underscored the critical role of family worship in fostering spiritual growth and maintaining the moral fabric of society. But perhaps the most famous section on family worship was the Westminster Directory of 1647, put out by the Church of Scotland. I'll read to you brief portions of it. The General Assembly, having seriously considered the Directory for Family Worship, doth approve the same as a necessary part of the reformation of religion, and of the greatest concernment that, with the blessing of God, families be duly instructed and edified. The Assembly doth exhort and require ministers and ruling elders to take special care that these directions be observed and followed. Let the heads of families be solemnly charged to cause them to be observed diligently within their several families, as they will be answerable to the Lord. What should family worship include? The head of the family is to take care at home of none of the family be suffered to neglect this duty. Let him not take himself to it, but also see that the whole family under his charge be daily employed in reading the Scriptures and in prayer. It is expedient that the family join together in singing of psalms. He is also to see that none of the family be suffered to live in ignorance of the principles of the Christian religion, but that he diligently instruct them, and that he labor by every means he can to bring them into the knowledge of the truth. But it goes on. Let them beware that prayer be not made by rote, or with neglect of the due preparation of heart, not used at unseasonable times. If any family be negligent herein, let the head of the family be admonished privately to amend his fault. Tomorrow we will deal with family worship among Baptists.